All right, hello everyone. Let's take a look at another weekly wrap up, see how the timings went. And as you know, this month, as at next week anyway, as at Monday, we're transitioning into the cycle edge report. But the last, um, you know, old-fashioned, let's say, reporting I did was for the last week and the first 3 days of July. So let's take a look. Gold Thursday, Friday, Euro dollar Thursday, Friday, Bitcoin Friday, SP 500 Monday or Tuesday, Dow Jones, Nasdaq Monday, Friday, and we had a routine week for gold Monday to Thursday, and Friday was a shock day. Check Friday, you will see that it was a shock day. Um, Euro dollar Monday to Tuesday routine, Wednesday to Friday shock, Wednesday to Friday were shock, okay, and we were actually in there. Bitcoin routine, SP 500 Monday, Wednesday routine, Thursday, Friday gain. Let's see how that went. Dow Jones routine, Nasdaq routine, and these are the hours. So you can take a screenshot and you can just follow me through. Just remember, it's UTC plus 3. These are my local time hours. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so as you can see, these are all good. So let's see what we had. I'm just going to move this out of the way so we don't have to look at it anymore. Let's start off with gold. What do we have? Thursday, Friday, Thursday, Friday. We talked about gold on Monday, Tuesday as well, but I will touch on that later. That was with cycle edge. All right, and I did say cycle edge. I'm still working on, but overall, the last version I put onto the website is okay. So Thursday, Friday, according to what I posted here, you can see Thursday, Friday, nice and easy. All right. I posted this on the 8th of June. Thursday, Friday, right, coming into this box, as you can see. What about the hours? Let's check them out. Let's just do Thursday, Friday hours. Thursday trade hour, Thursday trade hour, Thursday trade hour, and all of them, as you can see, after the trade hour, we're going up. After the trade hour, we're going up. And then we had with cycle edge, we had 321, which is this bar here. Okay, that was on cycle edge. I didn't have that on Thursday. All right, on Thursday, I did have 405. So that was already like up here. Okay, that was like after the news happened, so 405 is there. But if you went in with these, you could have been okay. You should have been okay. Also, why? Because remember, Wednesday had an impulse wave. All you had to do was do the Fibonacci trick. Right price at the right time. 50, right time. Okay? So markets here. And again, look, 61, 62.5, sorry. 62.5, market chucks a Yui, just going up. Same here, look. Now that's 100%, market's broken over it. 100% here, trade hour, market going up. And on Friday, this is Thursday, as you can see, with the trade hour breakout right at the trade hour on Friday Asia session. Market breaking out, nice and easy, all right, and chucking a sideways move. As you can see, market buying the lows. What about Fridays? What do I have for Friday hours? Let's check it out. 250. 250 is already there. Okay, so that's your 250. That's your 415. Yup. Okay, so 415 is there, and 250 is going to be somewhere around there. Okay, so 250 is there. All right, 250, 415. So from 250 to 415. From here, it can break or just trade sideways. As you can see, I've made a comment there, and the market's just trading sideways until 1150. Let's see what happened at 1150. 1150 market sizzling down, cooling off a little bit. New York, good time to trade is 5:30. 5:30 is there. So market shifting up a little bit at 5:30. But remember, yesterday was a holiday. All right, Friday was a holiday for the US markets. Okay, so that's how it is. And from here it went on to 8:30 is where, well, it's not at 7:45. As you can see, the market didn't even get to 8:30 because US was closed. So that's it, 8:30 here, as you can see. Okay, so nothing really out of the ordinary. Time and price fine. If I had stuck with this Thursday, Friday, it should have been okay. With Cycle Edge, I had Monday and Tuesday. I did enter a trade on Monday, which went pear-shaped because it was still coming down. So Monday, Tuesday was the turn. Thursday, Friday was the push and the drive, and that's how it panned out. All right. So in any case, without the Cycle Edge, you would have been okay. With the Cycle Edge, with the latest updated version, it's also good. I had a little bit of a bug in the PDF, which I corrected, so the columns are now aligned. So I've put that up as well. So that's euro, that's gold. So let's take a look at the swing. Also look, Friday was a shock day. As you can see, market on Friday, boom, making a shock here as well. Did I have a shock day for gold? Let's see. In the gold report. We'll take a look at that later. Let's just finish this off first. All right, so that's gold. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then we had Euro dollar Thursday or Friday. Let's check it out. Remember, all of these days I'm like, putting out way in advance. Thursday, Friday. Remember, we entered the trade on a Thursday. It was in the video as well. The daily video, Thursday, Friday, going into there. All right, that was the first zone. That is the first zone. So the first position closed. The second one is still open. We'll see how that goes next week. Okay, so one position is still open with the stop moved up. But as you can see, according to what I posted, Thursday, boom, Friday, so those 2 days going up there. What else do I have? Also Wednesday, Friday, shock. Okay, so Wednesday to Friday we had shock days with the euro dollar. So Wednesday sharp fall, Thursday push up, so that is a bit of a shock. One down, one up, and then continuing. Okay, and we had a Friday gold shock, and gold was also, like I said, it did a shocking move as well. So those moves we get to know in advance with Cycle Edge. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I had Friday for Bitcoin and a routine week. So let's check it out. Okay, so that's your Friday there, and we had a routine week. So most of the week was here. As you can see, after that news, Thursday, Friday came into play, and that's all. With Bitcoin, the only thing I had was a Friday. What about from last week? I don't know, I can't remember last week, maybe because I didn't put the arrows here. You see there are some arrows coming from here into here, and so Friday, that's your Friday. Okay, and the market should, that's already done. That's done. So maybe it'll pop its head into there. So I'm going to get rid of this now. Okay, why? Because that's done. All right. Okay, so I said, whichever way we break, that's where we should go. As you can see, Thursday it broke out. So Friday you should have gone up with that. Okay. I said we just need to wait for the breakout of that. The hours, the same kind of hours. So when did the market break out? On Thursday there. So let's see what time. This is the breaking out motion here. Okay, and that is, let me tighten that up a little bit. That's the Thursday. And Wednesday, the breakout level was this. Okay. So market comes back down here. Let's take a look at if you entered that breakout. This is where you should be. All right. So let's see what hour that is. If I had an hour there, that's 10:45 on a Thursday. I didn't have a 10:35 on a Thursday, so that's a Thursday I had. That 3:15 I had. Okay. This I didn't have. What time did the market break out? Let's see. Yeah, it was already broken out. That's the next one. Yeah, so it's all the way up there. All right. So the only trade hours I had was 3:05 on there, 2:40 in the morning. So 2:40 and 3:05. This is the market coming down, closing gap, closing, and then taking off. All right. So on Thursday, that was the breakout. And if I had an hour here, it would have been awesome, but I just didn't have one. We'll see if Cycle Edge had one and see how that goes. In fact, let's check it out now, because otherwise I'm going to have to keep going back and forth with the reports, right? So Cycle Edge reporting. Where's Bitcoin? Here's Bitcoin. So let's see on that breakout. Happening on Thursday. High tension critical, high volatility. 3:21. What time is that? No, I don't think this had an hour here either. 10:45. Nope. So neither Cycle Edge nor me, we had hours there. All right, so on a Thursday, that's how it is, just broke out. So that we did not have. The 8 o'clock one is here, where the market fell off. But that's about it. All right, but we're expecting the market to be a bit volatile. And let's see. SP 500 Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday. That's your Friday. Here's your Monday, Tuesday. All right. Now with this one, I did say we should go up from here. Since the market was down, we should go up, right? Monday, Tuesday going up. That's the pennant. Thursday, and that's Friday. Okay, Friday. We checked out Friday, but because it's a holiday, nothing really to do. Why? Because Dow Jones and Nasdaq had a Friday, and because indices normally move together, that's how it is. I did say the market should, probably come back to close this off, and we have an indecision here. So we'll see how that goes later on. But Monday, Tuesday, market to the upside. Okay, so that's good. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now with Dow Jones, I said don't muck about. I wouldn't muck about, because it was, in terms of pricing, it was all over the place. So we have Monday and Friday, routine week. Oh look, Thursday, Friday, it was a gain day for SP 500, and Friday was a gain day. The market went up, as you can see. All right. So if you're just following the notes and the comments, and this is Dow Jones here, as you can see, Friday. What did I say for Dow Jones? Monday and Friday, yeah? So that's your Monday. Okay. I talked about this being a possibility of breaking out to the upside, and that's how it panned out. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's your Friday. So the trend is up and we're going in that direction. So we'll see how that pans out. Okay. And that's there. The hours are the same for all of them, so nothing really to talk about there. But you can check the hours for whatever you're trading, because the overall hours I give, it's for the whole markets, whatever. You just have to match the time to price. And here we have NASDAQ. Let's make this a little bigger. All right, so NASDAQ here as well. I had a Monday, Friday routine. That's your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday was up, going into that target zone, selling off here. As you can see, we have a pennant here as well. It'll be interesting to see if it's going to carry on breaking to the upside and start going up again as well. Okay. So what else? That's basically it. All right. But as at next week, like I said, we're going to be moving on to the cycle edge reports. So I've already put the report for all of them. Okay, Bitcoin, Dow Jones, Eurodollar, SP 500, NASDAQ, gold. Now the overall hours I haven't done yet. I'll post them up tomorrow. Why am I being lazy about it? Simply because you have them here. All right, so you'll have them here as well. But the overall hours, I'm still going to check and make sure things are like, according to how I like it, and making sure that, we don't have any dramas with it. But overall, it should pretty much be in sync. So with all of these, Euro dollar, Bitcoin, whatever you're trading, you're going to have, oops, that's Bitcoin there anyway. Let's do another one as well. Euro dollar. So Euro dollar, Bitcoin, and crikey, why am I opening up the same stuff? Let's take a look at gold. So just follow what the report is saying. Okay, so first of all, go to the weekly, pick out the trading day for the week, okay, and plan it out on Sunday. So like this week we would have said, okay, so these days are what we're going to look out for, all right? And then on these days we're going to trade. So we don't have to rush to trade. You already know what days to trade in advance. The same thing for the whole month, okay? And this is what's happening in the week and some pricing. So just let me know if you have any queries and questions, because this is the first time we're using the cycle edge report, right? So as you can see, we already have July 5 to 11, and then until the 31st of July, it's all in one report, okay? So just use it for whatever you're trading. And on Sunday, I'll put the overall hours as well, as usual in the same place. But just another reminder, we are not going to have June swing days periods or July swing day periods like we had here. This is now over because it's all in the cycle edge report. Okay, and I did a video on cycle edge report yesterday. Check it out. I'm going to do another one on Sunday for how to plan for next week, and I'll post that up as well, so you can plan ahead from Sunday what you're going to do and what time you're going to do it next week. All right, have a good weekend.